Welcome back, fight fans. In today's video, new footage of Conor McGregor training has fans feeling hopeful about UFC 303's main event. Luke Rockhold says Sean Strickland is nothing but a fraud and wants to fight him.
I see this fucking kid's face every time I see him. It's just disgusting. Sean Strickland. You
don't like his face?
He's a fake little bitch.
What's wrong with his
face? Doesn't even know who he is. I don't think he believes what he's saying these days.
Islam Makhachev says he wants to fight Conor McGregor and not Arman Tsarukyan next. He also throws shade at John Jones over the pound-for-pound debate. And a huge brawl erupts at the Diaz-Masvidal presser. Stay tuned because there's plenty more in today's video, so don't be scared, homie. Knock out the like button and subscribe to the channel. And in the words of Big John McCarthy, let's get it on! McGregor fans can breathe a sigh of relief as the saga concerning the UFC 303 main event between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler has spiraled somewhat uncontrollably over the past week, leading fans to fear that the fight might never happen. Despite the ongoing uncertainty regarding Conor's return, this past Thursday, Conor boosted the hopes of the MMA world by posting a series of training videos on his Instagram showing that he's still preparing. The post includes what seems to be a mix of old training footage and new training footage and is simply captioned with a goat and praying emoji. Earlier this week, the 35-year-old posted an image of himself grinning on what seemed to be a doctor's table on the rivalry we never knew we needed between Sean Strickland and Luke Rockhold is starting to heat up. Earlier this week, Luke Rockhold was on the Jackson podcast and had some very interesting comments to say about Strickland.
Fuck, I hate that guy. He's just like, I know a lot of people look at me and they just hate me. I see this fucking kid's face every time I see him. It's just fucking disgusting. Sean Strickland. You don't
like his face?
He's a fake little bitch.
What's wrong with his
face?
face?
Doesn't even know who he is. I don't think he believes the shit he's saying these days. He's just spouting off, trying to like.
I think he's entertaining. I like him running his mouth because I like the laugh and stuff like that. But it's just me. I think he's very entertaining. But
yeah. Luke, another reason why you can't.
Luke's got to go back and fight.
You got to go back and fight him.
Hey, Dana gives me that hall pass. I'll come in. I will step on that kid's face.
Is this like none of my business? But what's the problem? Why you don't go?
No,
back
I
to
didn't.
the UFC?
I left on and. Obviously, if a lot of people paid attention, they saw that week I put on Paulo Costa. I had a lot of things to say. I've been gone for a while, and I felt like I was mistreated a bit. And so, everything's gone, water under the bridge. But I don't know if they want to deal with me. But if we did deal, I'd deal right.
I have your manager talk to Uncle Dana and say, look here, man, just give me a shot with Strickland, and let's go from there.
Now, of course, a call out like this wasn't going to go unnoticed by Strickland, who went to Twitter and said this. Couple things. I sparred you one round. You up and snuck away like a... This was witnessed. Also, we were scheduled to fight. I said, yeah, that's an easy paycheck, and you pulled out a few weeks out. Extreme? Oh, up for fun, LOL. All of this drama happened this week and it got buried underneath the Conor news. However, bringing us up to speed, Luke Rockhold is doubling down on his Sean Strickland call-out. Speaking via the Schmoes YouTube channel, Rockhold doubled down on his call-out of Sean Strickland and arguably took things one, if not several steps further as he continued his verbal assault on the popular fighter.
Getting ready for another one, you're beefing with former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland, a guy that you've sparred with before, not too far from here in Southern California back in the day.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. You a fan? He puts on the most boring fights of all time. He's a fake. He's a fraud. I think he's fucking acting up there. I heard he's got social media managers telling him what to do and telling him what to say. And yeah, just try to be a little more real, boy.
Is there any possibility we can see you two dance, whether it's inside, a gym like this, or maybe it's at Extreme Couture, or back inside the UFC octagon?
Hey, what the fans want is what the fans get. If it makes sense, we're gonna get it. I would fight that kid anyway, in any form, in any place, with the right paycheck, of course. I know I don't fight for free.
Did you hit up the UFC asking to get back in, to roll it down with him, or what?
I haven't asked anything, so I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. I'm training, I'm getting better and better, and I'm just doing my thing. I took some time off, fucked around in COVID, and now just building back, and it feels good. Right.
What gives you the confidence you could put his lights out, though, and you could beat the man inside the cage or in any type of sparring session?
Well, I trained with the kid when I was on a bender in COVID, and I felt what he feels like. I felt the feel. and he hasn't really felt my feel. So I feel that things could feel my way under the right feeling circumstances, you know? Hey.
A lot of feels in that one, but you've also trained with Dricus du Plessis, who's the current UFC middleweight champion.
Yeah.
After going with both those guys, who do you think's better, more talented?
Dricus is more of a man, you know? So that's what it comes down to Sean. Sean acts like he's like, oh, fucking go to the death. He fucking puts on his hillbilly fucking right-wing fucking bogan attitude when he's really just a fucking bitch. You ain't gonna fight to the death. You go out there and you put it on the line the last like 5 fucking seconds of every fight, and you sit there and you walk around like a fucking stupid nutcracker, kicking and punching like an idiot. So yeah, nah, I can fight with the best. I seen what Dricus did to him. I know how good Dricus is. Dricus is a tough motherfucker. He's very good. He's good everywhere, you know, but he's just relentless. Sean he's got his one thing, and he needs the right guy to expose him. I feel when I'm on my game, there's not a person that can compete with me. I just got to be on my game and get in the game and get out of the COVID scene, you know? Hey, that's what it comes down to.
Islam Makhachev prefers a possible fight against Conor McGregor instead of Arman Tsarukyan. Despite the UFC 303 main event scheduled to take place at 170 pounds, current lightweight king Islam Makhachev has his eyes focused on the bout. Of course, there's a long-standing beef between Makhachev's team and the former two-weight world champion. McGregor and the 32-year-old champion would like the chance to once again settle the score.
Если выбирать между Макгрегором и Арманом Царукяном, с кем бы ты выбрал бой?
Ну, если быть честным, если выбирать, конечно, в плане, и в медийном плане, во всех планах, Макгрегор был бы поинтереснее. Но я не думаю, что даже его следующий бой состоится, потому что мы видели недавнее видео там, и вот недавно пресс-конференция у них отменилась. Не думаю, что он сможет выйти вообще на бой.
А если все-таки сможет?
Если сможет, думаю, тоже. Ну, мое мнение, что Чендер выиграет, потому что он более сфокусирован, тренируется, более голоден, наверное, тоже.
If it wasn't obvious that Islam Makhachev was irritated by the entire pound-for-pound debate even happening, considering he both entered and left the Prudential Center as the consensus pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, it is now.
Dana was in here a few minutes ago and we were asking him about you, and he was very adamant saying you're not the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world and that John Jones is. And I was trying to push back, being like, you're much more active than John Jones, you're fighting more. And he said, no, it's John Jones. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Maybe it's his opinion, but I think I saved this card today because all these fights boring and the whole arena almost sleep, and we show with Dustin great performance.
Makhachev recently took to social media to post an infographic showing the number and quality of fights that both he and John Jones have competed in since 2021, as a way to compare the recent strength of schedule of both superstars. On the Russian side, you've got submission victories over Drew Dober, Thiago Moises, and Dan Hooker, which was followed by a TKO win over Bobby Green. Then you move into his championship run, with submission victories over Charles Oliveira, a decision and a knockout over Alexander Volkanovski, and finally a submission of Dustin Poirier at UFC 302. Move over to John Jones' side of the table, there was a first-round submission over Cyril Gane. And that's it. With Makhachev having added just the word sorry to the blank space left under the Frenchman's name. The post from Makhachev comes on the heels of Dana White's recent appearance on the Flagrant podcast, in which he doubled down on the idea that Jones should be above the Russian wrecking ball on the pound-for-pound list.
The greatest fight, listen, I'm going to say it right here, right now. The greatest fighter to ever live, ever, is fucking John Jones. When you look at John Jones has never lost a fight.
UFC and boxing, or just UFC?
Ever.
Wow.
Because when you really think about fighting, put two guys in a room and who fucking comes out? John Jones walks out of that fucking room every time. And, you know, it's almost like, you know, when you see John on camera, and if you were in here talking to John Jones, it's almost uncomfortable for him to do this shit. But John Jones beats the fuck out of people, right? And when you talk about truly right now in Islam, I love you, Islam, and everything, the fact that John Jones is #2 on the pound for pound list is fucking, it just goes to show how fucking stupid the media votes on that.
Yeah.
Then it just goes to show you that they have no fucking idea. They know nothing about this fucking sport. John Jones has never lost a fight ever. And when you talk about what it really means to be pound for pound, you know, Volkanovski moved up, and it was a very fucking close fight the first time. John Jones moved up and
was not close.
absolutely fucking decimated the greatest heavyweight that was out there right now. He doesn't go for that fucking armbar. He beats Francis Ngannou and becomes the heavyweight champion. John Jones walked through him like it was fucking nothing. And when you really think about what pound for pound means, John Jones is the pound for pound best. When you watch the video of him and Cormier, and they don't know that they're live being filmed.
Oh my God.
And Cormier says, I had to come over there and spit in your fucking face right now. And John Jones says, I would fucking kill you. I'm not saying I would fucking kill you. John Jones has like German Shepherd dogs that that do all the attack shit, shoots guns. John Jones has a very fucking dark side to him, right? And when you talk about who the baddest motherfucker in the world is,
I like how your example of how bad he is.
You put
his two dogs.
I'm just telling you, John Jones during the craziness
of all the things that he has.
But
he's got German Shepherds. This guy's a
but he's that guy.
German Shepherds.
You know what I mean? He's that fucking guy. He's not just fucking like when all the craziness was going on during the pandemic and everybody was rioting and all this shit was going on.
He was ready.
Do you know that John Jones was like downtown, like ripping spray paint cans out of kids' hands and fuck up my town,
maintaining order.
I'll beat your fucking ass. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like John Jones is the fucking baddest dude to ever be involved in combat.
And is that what most fighters probably, if they were honest, would admit?
I don't know. I think John Jones is one of those guys that isn't going to really be appreciated till he's gone.
And then everybody's going to go, holy shit.
But the guy's never lost a fight.
Yeah.
He's the youngest champion ever in UFC history. I think he was 23. He's in his 30s now.
Yeah.
And he's fought fucking everybody. And he's never lost.
A huge brawl erupts at the Nate Diaz-Jorge Masvidal press conference with Masvidal right in the middle. Diaz and Masvidal have always adopted the mentality of anytime, anywhere, and although things have always remained cordial outside of the octagon, this past Thursday was a different story. In the second press conference of the lead up to their July 6th fight, a huge brawl broke out between the two teams with Nate seemingly not involved. Masvidal, though, was right in the middle of the action and looked to have eaten a few punches in the process. The brawl erupted after the 39-year-old slapped the hand of one of Diaz's team members, and in retaliation, the member of Diaz's team returned a hefty left hand on the chin of Jorge Masvidal, sparking the melee. After not involving himself in the initial melee, another video surfaced of Diaz backstage with a small amount of his team shouting down the hallway at Jorge and a few members of his team.
Turn around, bitch! Hey, your coach got knocked out! What? Where was your coach? Pussy ass bitch! Coach got knocked out! West side, bitch, go home! You think you just sold another 1 million pay-per-views? I don't know, I don't give a fuck. Let's go! Let's go! Straight up, go home! Go make it move! You gotta go. Stop.
Following the chaos at the press conference, Diaz took to social media to show that he somehow got a hold of the hat that Masvidal was wearing. In the video, Nate can be seen throwing the hat on the floor and stepping on it. Now, of course, Masvidal wasn't going to sit back without issuing a response to the carnage, and taking to X after the brawl, Gamebred said, Nate Diaz, you sent your guy to take your whipping. Don't run from that July 6th date, mother... This fight is either going to be the greatest fight of all time or the worst fight of all time. Now let's take a look at some of the comments left on yesterday's video. At Michael Santoro 170 says, looking at Islam's last fights, it's pretty clear to see he isn't nearly as dominant as Khabib. We're not seeing Khabib part 2 here. I don't think he's going to have that type of career. At William Andrews 4251 says, how can you compare Conor to Ali? That is blasphemy. McGregor doesn't need to be in the same sentence as the greatest. And at Brandon Hurt 7980 says, that coward is not playing games. He's trying to stay relevant without fighting because he knows he is broken mentally and will probably lose from here on out. Why? Because he's filthy rich and has no hunger. I wish he would just retire because the more he sticks around, the more I can't stand him. If you want your comments highlighted on tomorrow's video, simply comment down below. We'll highlight the top best comments, good, bad, or indifferent, and feature them in tomorrow's video. And that does it for today's video, but make sure you're liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and clicking the bell notification so you can get notified every time we drop a new video. And in case you missed it, check out yesterday's news.